India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They are working, starting families, growing up children and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program Connecting Cultures, they share their stories that had occurred before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies.
The core value in life of each person is family. People of Kazakhstan has been always known for having big families. And our today's guest of the program, Shota Ioseliani, also reveres and respects family values.
The hero of our program comes from Georgia. Georgian family is always a big family, regardless of how many children there are in it. Because the concept of family in Georgia includes close relatives as well as distant ones. And all family members maintain warm relationship to each other. Shota always tries to spend time with his home folks as much as it possible. In addition, our hero does not just keep spiritual beauty inside the family, but also refines his home, giving attention to household duties. Tell us where you were born and grew up.
I was born in Georgia, in the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi, in a family of a quite high-ranking Georgian official, my dad, and my mother, who was a professor at the university teaching Russian for foreigners. We were a two-language family. We speak both Georgian and Russian at home. Tbilisi is a very ancient city. The environment was full of historical knowledge. Tbilisi is a very mixed city, and I find some similarities to Almaty in Kazakhstan as well, where many nations live together so in such a harmony, and it's quite similar to what we have in Georgia as well.
A lot of people will agree that the most remarkable time in life of each person is childhood. At this period we have got a vast amount of energy that we don't know how to consume it. And right in childhood years we start to cherish some dreams that later we try to achieve exerting all our efforts. And the brightest childhood memories of the hero of our program are directly associated with his family. Shota often passed the time playing tennis with his father. Also, our hero always looked forward to frequent visits of his grandparents.
As a child, I was quite a peaceful child. Didn't get in much trouble, but used to run a lot with my friends. Of course, we did some crazy things, as any boys do, but generally didn't get in too much trouble. I studied quite well. What I remember the most is that I liked collecting cars. My dad would bring me small car models, and I would collect them. I had quite a few of them. I still have them, and they're still in my house where I was born. And I'm going to take my son this summer to give them to him. And now they will be his cars now. And he's also waiting for that moment. Also, I liked a lot to play with my brother. I have an older brother. As a child, I had a dream which I didn't fulfill still, but I think it will be fulfilled later in my life. I wanted to be an archaeologist. I think later in my life I will have a chance to fulfill at least a part of that dream and be a part of some expedition or some sort of archaeological processes, let's say like this. Yeah. Also, I wanted always to travel, to see the world, and that dream I did fulfill. I've seen quite some of the world and plan to continue that, including coming to Kazakhstan. For me was one of the nice experiences and nice moves in my life.
What is the occasion of your arrival in Kazakhstan?
Since 15, I've been traveling around the world, studying, working, and I mentioned before that I have lived in quite a few countries in my life. And at some point, my friends, my acquaintances have offered me, would you like to try to work in Kazakhstan? There's a nice company with a great manager who can offer you something interesting in your line of work. And I came here, had an interview, liked the country, liked the company, liked my general manager, and decided that it would be interesting. Later on, we have also arranged for my wife to find some employment, and decided that it will be a great opportunity and adventure to move here, to live in this hospitable country.
From what side the city of Almaty has appeared before you, and what interesting things about our country have you already got acquainted with?
Well, what I can say is that the city of Almaty has shown itself as a very welcoming city, and the country itself, the people are amazingly helpful to me as a foreigner. When I come here, I'm in need of certain things. For example, where to find the best shop, where to find the best dry cleaners, different issues, and everybody, colleagues, people in the, like drivers in a taxi, they're so helpful. It's amazing. It was like really a big positive shock for me, how people were trying to help somebody who came from a different country to adapt. It's one of the most easiest places to adapt to which I've been to. Also, everybody sees Kazakhstan as a very hot country, like it's very, very, very hot. When I come here, it's very comfortable, you have mountains, you can ski. It was also very nice to realize that. Well, there's also many other things which I have learned about the culture, how it works, about the interesting family relations, which are different in every country, and it's always interesting to learn how it works, like the oldest brother and the youngest, and how this system works.
Among traditions of the Kazakh people, is there something similar to the ones you follow together with your family?
Well, first thing that I have noticed and experienced is the level of welcoming, how welcoming the people are. You know, the Georgian people are also known for their hospitality. And everybody says, oh, Georgia is so hospitable. When I came here, I was also shocked about how hospitable the people here are. And this is definitely one of my traditions, my family traditions, which is always, my house was always full of guests. And it was so similar to how it happens here, how people come to each other. And this is very unique among my experiences where I lived. So it's more informal in terms of you don't have to make an appointment to go to somebody, and it's much more easy to meet a friend or to ask a friend for something, and many things like colleagues telling you, oh, come on, I'll take you home. This is very normal in my culture, in my situation, and it's also very common here. In other countries, I have not experienced it that easy. It's more formal or more, let's say, people get closer much faster here.
Centuries-old traditions and special attitude to cuisine and family hearth as an integral part of home and family have led that any dinner, especially when a guest is present, turns into a feast. Fondness and the utmost respect to a guest and also fidelity to a traditional feast have been handed down from generation to generation. Thus, the Georgian people developed the culture of hospitality. Shota always tries to devote free time to his beloved children and wife, with whom he often walks in the park.
What are your interests that bring you joy?
Most of all, at this point in my life, my hobby is mostly connected with children, with my kids. It's the things that make them happy.
Yeah.
Coming to the park, riding the segways, going to the Tuchimbulak to ski, taking them to the mountains, to the hikes, just playing with them. Basically, at this point in my life, everything is connected to the two small children that I have. Now, generally in life, me and my wife like traveling, so when they grow up, we'll definitely be traveling most of all locally. That we take a car, we just go to some nice places. And we also have another hobby, which is visiting castles, ancient castles. But I'm sure we will be able to find many interesting places here as well.
Are you a happy man?
I really am a very happy man. Every day I thank God for giving me such a beautiful family, my healthy kids, being able to provide for them in the matter that I want to, being able to make their life happy, make them have a happy childhood. So I really am a happy man. I'm proud of my parents very much. I am proud of what they gave me. They gave me a lot of chances. They gave me more chances than average person would get. They worked hard for it. So I want to do the same for my children, so they can be later be proud of me as well.
What success have you achieved in your life?
Definitely the biggest achievement of my life is my family. My children, my wife, it's the biggest and most important part of my life. But as well, I can be proud of certain things that I've done and I've achieved, like going to US. It was fully on a competition basis, and I went to study there for free.
How are you going to make your further life?
Further plans are possibly have some more children. We want it as well with my wife, so we'll see how it turns out.
In the Georgian culture, there are wedding traditions, which are accompanied with some bright ceremonies and symbolize the birth of a new family that will follow the customs of the people and transmit them to the future generation.
Since olden times, the keeper of the hearth and home has been a woman, but enormous responsibility for strengthening and protection of family ties falls on a man, the head of the household. Shota Ioseliani undoubtedly is an exemplary husband, careful father and son.